Hello, and thank you for joining us for this final fall edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Sabina Chada.
And I'm Abby Coleman. We start off our last newscast of the season with a story about a collaboration between Virginia Tech students and local farmers. This past September, the United States Department of Agriculture awarded Virginia Tech $80 million for a pilot program that'll help farmers implement climate-smart practices.
Newsfeed reporter Abby Meyer tells us about the progress that has been made after 4 months.
The grant is called Partnerships for Climate Smart Commodities. The pilot program intends to fund over 4,500 farms in 4 states, including Virginia, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Arkansas. Farmers in any of these 4 states will be able to apply. Now, over half of the grant money, roughly $54 million, will go directly to farmers who are accepted into the program. These farmers will receive $100 per acre to implement climate-smart practices. Principal investigator of the project and Associate Dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Virginia Tech, Tom Thompson, shares the importance of the project.
Our pilot program in these 4 states can be the or an example that USDA will use when they put together a national scale program. Then we will really have accomplished something great.
Currently, the program does not have a project manager or a director of communications. Matthew Holt, head of the Department of Agriculture at Virginia Tech, says with these positions empty, progress has been slow.
Most of everybody involved from Virginia Tech's perspective at this stage, or at least initially, are academics. And we do research, and of course we do outreach, extension, and engage with farmer clientele groups and so forth and so on. But we don't manage huge projects like this.
They hope to open up the applications for farmers in all 4 states within the next few months. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Abby Meyer.
The New River Valley has many programs and grants in place to help support small businesses, but some minority-owned businesses are still struggling. A local entrepreneur has opened up about her experience opening a restaurant in the NRV. Tiesha Watkins started her journey in 2021 when she turned her love for cooking into Silver and Salt, which was the first Black-owned restaurant in Giles. During the process of trying to open, Watkins applied for many grants and spoke to all of the resources she could find to help, and was turned away and even scammed out of money. The restaurant was open for 3 months and was a hit. Then when the space she was leasing kept breaking down, she asked for help from the landlord and was again pushed away.
He was like, well, we don't have any more. I was just like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? And he's like, I don't know, I guess figure it out, basically.
Forced to close and find a new location, Watkins did not give up and continues to fund the business all on her own. With the new space and plans to reopen early 2023 through the NRV funding, business provides support for small businesses. The support for minority-owned businesses is not as prevalent. Data from the Chamber of Commerce shows 40% of funding going to small businesses, but only 8% of this is going to Black-owned businesses. Watkins has no plans of stopping. Her journey now. The Silver and Salt website is still active and contains a GoFundMe page to raise funds for the new restaurant in hopes of making a bright and lasting future of soul food in Giles County.
Fall 2022 graduation is just days away. Many Hokies will head out to the real world with a plan of what they want to do or even a full-time job. But what about the ones that aren't quite sure of what they're doing? The options after college are vast, and there are a lot of different routes students can take. The Office for Career and Professional Development offers advising sessions for students who may feel lost coming out of their major. They help them explore different careers to find the best fit. Another resource for recent Hokie alum is the Office for Student Affairs Advancement. One way to support new grads who may not know what to do is with alumni networking events.
If you are looking for a job or maybe looking to switch, or maybe you're just there and talking to someone and like they have a really cool job and you're like, I'm interested in that. Like maybe they'd follow up with that person afterwards, but it's a great opportunity to network.
Virginia Tech offers advising and career planning for alumni up to 2 years after graduation. There are alumni networking and career events hosted all over the country to help ensure that graduates get on their feet. Governor Glenn Youngkin's administration has proposed new changes to Virginia's learning standards. This has sparked a high political debate about whether or not politics should be a part of drafting new education standards. The latest draft most notably removed a lot of material regarding indigenous peoples and early American colonialism. The old guidelines state that an overarching theme of all 5th grade lessons on this period of U.S. history should be racism defined as prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race. The new guidelines do not mention teaching students about racism at all. Virginia Tech history professor Dan Thorpe says what happened in early American colonialism is vital in understanding the United States today.
So understanding the U.S. today, I think it's absolutely critical to continue to study the colonial period, if for no other reason, because it was during the colonial period that slavery was established. I mean, it's a source of many of the issues still roiling the United States.
While local school districts are responsible for determining curriculum, the Department of Education gives schools guidance on required subjects. If the standards are approved by the board early next year, they will be implemented for the 2024-25 school year.
In other news, many students and alumni found themselves with a new set of rules regarding Virginia Tech's famous tailgating tradition. Center Street has a huge overhaul that led to new rules being put in place in order to ensure that the game day experience was made safer. But how did the rules turn out in retrospect with the conclusion of the season? For years, thousands of students would gather for every home game, making for what some called the best tailgating experience in the ACC. However, in prior years, some Blacksburg residents who lived on the street itself began complaining about the noise, and coupled with some incident conduct, led to new restrictions on the famous tradition. Fraternities were forced to limit their guests on the property, and a new route to entering the stadium was implemented, leading to less chaos in the area. However, former Intrafraternity Council President Will Snyder believed that the communication was not there, and the result of the change only works in one party's favor.
Input left a bad taste in a lot of students' mouths, and mine included, because I felt like we had been cheated out of an opportunity to cooperate and compromise and work together on making our tailgating experience together.
The communication might have stifled a lot of student plans and made them feel as if the center they once knew was gone forever. But with the new rules in place, Center Street will be able to continue in some shape to ensure that some form of the tradition is still in place. As the semester comes to a close, holiday music performances roll into Blacksburg. Many students may think that there are only class-led performances at Virginia Tech's Moss Performing Arts Center.
However, there is more to the building. Newsfeed reporter Chase Hickman has the story.
As the new year approaches, the Moss Performing Arts Center continues to host major area performances, including a recent performance by the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra on December 3rd. Many students, like Hokie senior Daniel Vasquez, are surprised when they learn of the caliber of productions the Arts Center provides.
I always thought it was going to be like student-based or student-led, so that kind of like turned me off a bit. It was like, I want more like professional music stuff. So then I recently found out about that, and I thought that was kind of cool, and I kind of want to look more into that just so I can kind of like drop by and kind of see something.
Is the Art Center for students or professionals? The answer is a bit of both. Moss Art Center Productions Director Doug Whitney explains that there are many kinds of shows and crews that work in the space.
Last year, we did almost 600 event days. Even there's never a time when there's only students working in the space. It's always at least a mixture. When we have a Broadway show or something like that, then it's all, professional, actually union crew.
While many productions are not put on by Hokie students, Moss does want to find more of them. As the Arts Center continues to return to pre-COVID operation scales, Whitney emphasizes that they are actively searching for more students to inquire about job opportunities.
We do not want someone to take a student to take a lot of hours with us and then possibly not do well and not be able to return the next term. It also increases their longevity with us, for a few years instead of kind of like burning them out in a term or two.
To see more about job opportunities available through the Moss Arts Center, be sure to visit their website at artcenter.vt.edu. This is Chase Hickman reporting for the Newsfeed.
Stay with us. There's more just ahead on this final fall edition of the Newsfeed. Coming up, the month of December means a lot of holiday festivities. We'll take a look at what goes into planning and preparing a major holiday event for the whole town.
And a few local charities are working to help brighten the holidays for those in need. We'll find out how. Those stories and more after this break.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Sabina Chada.
And I'm Abby Coleman. 'Tis the season for holiday parades, and just like the rest of the country, communities in the New River Valley join in the celebration of the season every year. Christiansburg, Virginia is home to the Christmas on Main parade that is free for the community to enjoy. However, the preparation of the event is a long time in the making.
Just recently, Blacksburg held its annual Winter Lights Festival, which included a tree lighting and a parade, and more nearby towns are preparing for their own holiday celebrations. Newsfeed reporter Katie Dillon joins us live to tell us more. Katie?
Thanks, Sabina. Christiansburg, Virginia is home to the Christmas on Main parade that is free for the community to enjoy. However, as I found, the preparation of the event is a long time in the making.
The town of Christiansburg is preparing for the Christmas season with the annual Christmas on Main parade. Holiday lights and decorations are strung along the streets in preparation for the upcoming festivities. Event coordinator Rachel Vinson describes the parade planning process.
We start planning for it generally about a year out. We go in and pick our date for the parade and pushing hard of getting different floats to come out and different organizations and working on maps and road closures. But we're fortunate enough to where a lot of people already know about the event, so they actually start reaching out to us before we're even ready a lot of times, which is great.
Assistant event coordinator Austin Gilmore explains his role in obtaining vendors for the Christmas farmers market.
Good portion of the vendors that we have for the Christmas at the market is from our normal farmers market. So I communicated with them, found them, they were good to go. So we were trying to make it the biggest one we've had yet, and our goal was 20. So I had to reach out to vendors we've had occasionally in past farmers markets, maybe new vendors and things like that. So really it's just relationships and communication.
Those interested in the Christmas on Main parade and Christmas at the market can go to www.christiansburg.org for more information.
Christiansburg's Christmas on Main will include a Christmas tree lighting, parade, and a market with lots of options for people to purchase Christmas gifts. I'm Katie Dillon, reporting live for the newsfeed.
Thanks, Katie. The holidays are often a time of giving back. There are many nonprofits who support the community in the New River Valley who depend on fundraising.
One local organization is NRV Cares. At an office in downtown Christiansburg, the NRV Cares team works hard year-round to serve the children in need in the area. NRV Cares' mission is to protect children and strengthen families through its programs. They provide parenting classes and classes on prevention of child abuse. The NRV Cares also runs the Court-Appointed Special Advocate, or CASA program. CASAs are volunteers who work with children in the foster care system to provide a better picture to the judges about what is best for the child. There are around 100 children in the New River Valley at any given time. As a nonprofit organization, NRV Cares rely on donations from the community and Greek organizations. The CASA volunteer coordinator, Leah Wichtuluk McFerrin, said one of their biggest fundraising campaigns is centered around the holiday season.
Our Tree of Hope fundraiser that we do every year. We work the Christmas tree actually in downtown Christiansburg, gets lit up, and it's sort of a symbol of our Tree of Hope program. It's an opportunity for us to do some fundraising for money that goes back into our programs that support children and families.
Donors are encouraged to dedicate a message for the Tree of Hope. Along with the Tree of Hope, NRV Cares is hosting a Surviving the Holidays parenting class. The money raised allows NRV Cares to provide these courses for free and train new CASA volunteers. Right now, there are only 30 CASA volunteers to serve about 100 foster care children. Pinwheels are used as a symbol to promote healthy, happy childhoods, which encapsulates NRV Cares' mission. The Tree of Hope lighting will take place on December 9th at Christiansburg Christmas Parade. The holiday season can especially be difficult for families in need. That's why several organizations are working to take some pressure off of struggling parents.
I recently spoke to 2 organizations in the NRV that are making sure children have gift under the tree. The holidays can be a hard reminder for those in need, but across the NRV, programs are partnering with parents to give their kids a special holiday.
Love beyond poverty, love beyond Christmas.
Captain Charlene Cover works at the Salvation Army and heads up their Angel Tree program.
Family that need a little bit of extra help during the Christmas season.
Each child in the program is put on a tag which donors can take off of one of the many trees across the NRV to buy them Christmas gifts listed on the tag.
Basically, it's the kids' wish. We have their wish, their needs, and also some extra stuff.
Every once in a while, someone will take a tag and not bring back any gifts, but the Salvation Army still makes sure that that child is taken care of.
And if we find out that someone did not return their tags, we normally fill that tag.
In Radford, the Radford Elf Shelf program also works to relieve financial stress from parents, but in a slightly different format. Ann Walker has been the director of the program for 21 years.
Knowing that you're helping people provide a Christmas for their children and still be able to pay their bills and meet their financial obligations and still provide for their children.
The difference with the Elf Shelf program is that parents get to pick out their own gifts for their kids.
Point value. So they pick out what they want for their children. We always have bonus items as well and a new book.
For both programs, the workers say that it's rewarding.
Joy on their face once they receive their gift.
Reporting for the news feed, I'm Abby Coleman. Stay with us, there's more just ahead.
We'll be back after this short break.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
Watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other,
On a deeper level. Father.
cosplayer,
Mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
it's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
And discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. Blacksburg has a variety of booths to purchase locally sourced resources, but did you know that Virginia Tech also can be responsible for the sale of locally grown meat? This locally sourced meat is sold on campus and open to the public. Every Friday during the academic school year, the Meat Science Center here at Virginia Tech opens a meat market to the public to sell locally sourced meat. By doing so, members of the Meat Center are able to have a hands-on educational experience while providing high-quality meat products. With the profit they make, the Meat Center is able to put back into the program for their students. By allowing students in the program to work in this retail market, they are gaining new opportunities to educate themselves daily. The market is often busy during their hours of operation from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., so it seems like a popular place for local students and staff to come by for high-quality meat. The center is located off the Duck Drive at the Food and Science Building.
The Blacksburg Holiday Winter Market has been a mainstay within the town's community every first weekend of December. With food, home goods, music, and a large parade, the event embodies holiday cheer and fosters communal relationships. But like everything around it, the market came to a halt during the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet the effects of 2020 might not have been as adverse as people think. Newsfeed reporter Alex Marianovich has more in this next story.
The Holiday Winter Lights Market in downtown Blacksburg has been a community staple for many years, and in its time, nothing has really changed besides new vendors coming in and out. The formula is the same and tries to enable the holiday spirit to continue in the town.
We do this every year. There's a parade, there's lots of vendors that come out with different wares, handmade stuff, food's really popular. There's also an event involving tubas.
The Winter Market is a yearly affair for the residents of Blacksburg, but
Just like many other businesses, it has also been affected by the COVID pandemic. But how have businesses rebounded? A couple of local vendors were fortunate enough to make it through and have come back to ensure that their businesses still survive.
I don't really feel like COVID's impacted the Christmas market that much. I'd say there's just as big of a crowd this year as there's been in previous years. The only thing different really this year that I've noticed is not a lot of food vendors.
Vendors such as Amanda Carlton are all in agreement. Even though the pandemic itself did not allow for the market to occur in 2020 and of part of 2021, it is clear that the market did not lose its soul, its spirit, and what makes it unique. So people are still able to take their children to get some kettle corn, buy some exotic soaps, and get some hot chocolate in order to view and observe the holiday spirit. I'm Alex Marjanovic reporting for the Newsfeed.
College students look for a few things when choosing a place to stay: cheap rent, good location, and convenient amenities. One apartment complex in particular has gone viral on the internet thanks to an unconventional feature. Every college resident has its quirks, but some are a little more unusual than others. An apartment complex in Blacksburg, Virginia has captured the attention of millions of people on the internet. These indoor balconies are a feature at the Tech Village apartment complex. The balconies are in place to provide an emergency egress for the bedrooms facing the central hallway. These bedrooms lack a window, and in case of a fire, another exit is required by law. The complex was originally intended to have a glass atrium-style roof, but now it sports a dropped fiberglass tile ceiling. That'll wrap up this special edition of the Newsfeed, a look at stories making headlines in the New River Valley and at Virginia Tech.
The Newsfeed will be going on hiatus for a few months, but we'll be returning February with a new group of journalists and a new series of stories to keep you up to date about what's going on with Virginia Tech in the New River Valley area.
While we're away, if you have a story idea, send them our way. You can connect with us on Facebook or Twitter, or send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm Abby Coleman.
And I'm Sabina Chada. For all of us at the Newsfeed, we hope you have a safe and enjoyable holiday season.